वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज Purupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Shishmat His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Namasari Shri Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kahe Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giriraj Govardhan ki Braj Bhumi Vrindan Dhama ki Marg Navdeep Dhama ki Jagannath Puri Dhama ki Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani ki Gangamayi Yamunamayi ki Kaliyuga Pavana Shri Harinama Sankirtan Mahayagnya ki Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Hare Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gaura Premanande All glories of Summit devotees, all glories of Summit devotees, all glories of Summit devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think only two of you said Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I'm very happy to be here by the grace of Murli Priya Prabhu and to be able to serve all of you on this auspicious day of Uttana Ekadashi, and we're celebrating Tulasi Vivah, and we'll be discussing glories of Tulsi Maharani. So just a head start. Anyone who discusses the narration of the glories of Tulsi Maharani, or anyone who hears the discussion of the glories of Tulsi Maharani, both are assured to get the divine prema or love for Krishna. Hari Bol. So how many of you understand English? Anyone who doesn't understand English? How many of you understand mostly Hindi and partly English? Mostly Hindi and partly English. Okay. So we will be discussing about glories of Tulsi Maharani. How many of you have Tulsi Maharani at home? Jai. I'm now going to ask the other question. How many of you don't have? Because out of shyness we will not want to raise your hand. But after today's talk, I hope all of you will be inspired to have Tulsi Maharani at your home, because she is Krishna Prayasi, means she is very very dear to Krishna. Correct? So the Shastras talk about what is the goal of life. We have got a rare human form of life, and it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ayun harati vaipumsam udyanastan chayannasau tasyaite yakshano nito uttama shloka vartaya. That means when we spend our day and night glorifying Krishna or his devotees like Tulsi Maharani, Srila Prabhupada, etc., then even with every setting and the rising of sun, we are going closer to eternal life in Vaikuntha. But if we spend our life not discussing the topics of Krishna, being busy with the worldly matters like our work, family life, social life, like I'm working in a hospital, and recently one surgeon, he just called me and said, okay, we'll have a talk. I said, okay, maybe 2 minutes. And he called one more doctor, another doctor. Almost 5-6 of us were there in a cabin, and they were all discussing some stupid, material, mundane matters, and simply cracking jokes, which has no essence, which has no value, no substance. Correct? And they are finding so much joy simply discussing, oh, my wife cooked this, it was not good, and the other person is saying, oh, but my wife did this, and another lady is saying, but my husband is like this. Like this, they spoke for 1 hour. Of course, when I was there, I was just chanting Hare Krishna mouths on fingers, and they were, of course, one of the ladies, they said that if you are feeling bored, you can go. I said, thank you for understanding. So in this world, people are very busy talking about all rubbish. Why? Because they have not tasted Krishna Katha. One who has got the taste for Krishna Katha cannot tolerate the mundane things of this world. Of course, as working professionals, as people within this material world, we may want to dovetail our service or our occupation in Krishna service. That is there. But we cannot tolerate just doing something without Krishna. Correct? How many of you agree? Yes? Yeah, very good. And that's why all of you are here. So in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said that the lifespan of the human form of life is Kshanabhangurai. Kshanabhangurai means it just goes like this. Like many of us who have elders at home, we see that they say that just yesterday, I was a small lady, a small girl, I got married to my husband's house. This is my grandmother usually says. I got married to my husband's house. And then my mother-in-law used to treat me like this, etc. And she said in one day, kshanadalli, जीवन ಹೇಗೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ एक क्षण में पूरा जीवन कैसे बीत गया मुझे पता ही नहीं चला राइट तो वैसे ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ नर जन्म जिसको बोलते हैं वो एक एडवांटेज भी है डिसएडवांटेज भी है व्हाट इज एडवांटेज द एडवांटेज इज दैट इन द ह्यूमन फॉर्म ऑफ लाइफ यू कैन परफेक्ट योर लाइफ नॉट इवन इन डेमिगॉड लाइफ ऑफ कोर्स नॉट इन हेलिश लाइफ नॉट इवन इन द रिमाइंडर ऑफ 84 lakh species. Only in the human form of life you have the intelligence to surrender to Krishna, and hence all of you are intelligent, because out of so many people in the vicinity in this area, only handful of you have come to attend program to hear about Krishna and his devotee, right? So that is actual intelligence, otherwise it's not intelligent. So if you are not careful to make use of this human form of life, what is the disadvantage? Kshanabhangurai. It's very, very, very short. Very temporary. From womb to tomb, how we pass our life, we don't know. Correct? So it is said that life is a journey between two letters, B and D. Correct, no? What is B? D. And how we live our life depends on C, which is
Karma.
Choice. Yeah. So if we choose Krishna, then your life, even though it's such a small journey between D and D, takes you to Krishna. But if you choose to be away from Krishna, then B to D will lead you to continued material existence here. Right? Like Sripad Shankaracharya beautifully puts it. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jhatare shayanam. इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविंदम गोविंदम भज मूढ़मते. Yes, so all of you have only told, no? I'm not saying. So, if we don't make use of every moment in our life to somehow or the other dovetail our consciousness to Krishna, that 1 second, that one moment, how do you know how expensive is one moment? No, you don't know. How much money can you give to purchase one moment back? Like 10 minutes, earlier at 4:55. 1 minute, can you purchase it with $1 million? No? $1 trillion? No? That means what is the value of one moment? Correct? It's so expensive. So better to just give that one moment which is invaluable to Krishna. Correct? When you give it to Krishna, you get eternal life in Vaikuntha. Correct? And Tulsi Maharani has appeared in this world just to teach us that. And we'll see how. Okay, so before we start the topic proper, we'll start with prayers. So all of you can repeat. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamil Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So all of us together, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I would like to seek blessings and prayers of all the exalted Vaishnavas present here and Vaishnavis, especially Murli Priya Prabhu, who was kind to invite me and engage my consciousness in Krishna Seva somehow. So with that, we'll start the topic proper. So Krishna is very kind. Krishna is Karuna Sindhu. So Sindhu means ocean, but not like the ocean of this world, because in this world, ocean has a limit. Correct? Now you can cross the ocean because it has a start and a stop. Correct? But Krishna is Karuna Sindhu means his oceanic compassion has no borders. Once you start, it never ends. Once you go deep, you will never find the bed of the ocean. That means it's an infinite ocean of compassion. And according to that compassion, how he treats the living entities, he provides the rebellious living entities with so many opportunities to come back to him. Now the living entities, like all of us, we have turned away from Krishna. We told Krishna that I don't like you. Rather, I want your position, I want your possession. जो आपके पास है वो मुझे चाहिए, आप नहीं चाहिए. Correct? Saying that, we came into this world. Janasya Krishna Vimukasya Daivad Adharmashilasya Sudukhitasya. That means because of our rebellion to Krishna, we are finding ourselves in a very difficult position. Correct? And that rebellion has kept us away from Krishna, away from true happiness of love in the heart for millions of lifetimes. But Krishna, every single lifetime he has accompanied us as Paramatma, right? Though our children, wife, parents, friends, relatives, etc., they would not accompany us beyond the death of a body, correct? Like who are your parents in the previous lifetime? Nobody knows, correct? Like that, every lifetime we have different set. But Krishna is the same person accompanying us through the entire journey till we reach back into Godhead, to Golok Vrindavan. Correct? That is his compassion. And now also, Krishna is thinking, okay, now these people, they are my own children. So how can I somehow attract them to me? And he's seeing that, oh, ये बहुत आनंद लेते हैं किसमें? In attending marriages, in attending birthday parties, in attending some kind of discussions.
Kitty parties.
Yes, tea parties. Kitty parties. I don't even know what that is. Okay.
Few ladies will have a get together and do chit chat what you were telling.
Okay.
Rubbish.
Okay. Yeah. So like that, so many things we take great relish. बहुत आनंद लेते हैं ना. तो कृष्णा को एक उपाय आया. What is that? He said, okay, then if my children are so much joyful in this, let me give them a Krishna conscious alternative to it. So we all like attending marriages, Sambrama, correct na? So much celebration. So we like to dress the best, like to put the best of the ornaments and go and show off. So Krishna said, okay, I will also present my Leela of getting married. So we know Tirupati Balaji Padmavati marriage, very famous in Andhra. How many of you from Andhra? Edu Kundalwada Venkatamana Govinda. But that is universal, correct? From whichever part of the world you are in, everyone knows. Yeah, so like Tirupati Balaji Padmavati, and also Krishna or Lord Vishnu and Tulsi. So Lord Vishnu has Saligram Sheila and Tulsi Maharani. So this is the, of course, as you know, to give us alternative for birthday parties. His Janmashtami is, the biggest birthday celebration in the entire world for years to come, and always has been so till now. Correct? So like that, Krishna is very busy giving us good alternatives, right? So that's why he has given this Leela of Saligram Puja or Saligram Vivaha with Tulsi Maharani. Correct? So before we can step into that Leela, who is this Tulsi Maharani? We all have a plant, but is she just a plant with a root, stem and leaves? No, she's a personality. Because everyone in the spiritual world is a person, is a very conscious person. Even the water, even the air, even the sun, even the grass, even the trees. As Krishna Balram walk in the Vrindavan, all the trees are seeing, oh, let me serve Krishna Balram by protecting them from the sun, by bending down so that they can bask in the shade of my leaves. Right? And when Krishna comes to Yamuna, then the river water of Yamuna Devi is thinking, oh, let me embrace Krishna with my fresh cooling waters on this sunny day. Why? Not that I will enjoy Krishna, but because when I embrace Krishna, Krishna will feel very happy because of my cooling waters. So that is the mood of Vrindavan. Everyone is conscious, living, sentient, and everyone's only one goal. What is that? To serve and please Krishna. That's Vrindavan. So when all of us also assemble here, keeping Jagannath, Radha Madhav, Gaur Nitai, Prabhupada in center, and work together in order to please Krishna, that also becomes Vrindavan. Right? Bolo Vrindavan Dhama ki Jai. So now, Vrinda Devi, Tulsi Maharani, the personality in Golok Vrindavan is called Shri Vrinda Devi. And Vrinda Devi, the complexion and her form is described in Skanda Purana. And it is said that she has beautiful golden form, and she is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. And her service is to arrange the pastimes in Shri Vrindavan Dham. And what do you mean by arrange the pastime? Not just, she'll just call some gopi and say that, go to Krishna and give this. Or she'll call Krishna's friend and say that, or she'll call Yashoda Mai and tell that, cook laddus for Krishna. Not like that. She has many messengers hovering about Vrindavan Dham. Who are those messengers? Any guess? Which bird? Not Garuda, please. Parrot, very good. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So not Shuka parrot per se. Per se. The Shuka parrot is of Srimati Radharani, but she has so many parrots all over Vrindavan, and they are finding out, okay, what we can do to serve Krishna, next. So she is seeing how the water can be cool, how the sun can be soft in its warmth, how the grass can be soft, how the earth can be soft, how they can be, the trees should bend, how much they should bend, so that Krishna will be happy. Like that, she is planning and orchestrating entire Vrindavan to serve Krishna. That is her service. Glorious, correct, no? So her form is golden because she is Amsha of Srimati Radharani, and on the left hand she holds a parrot, and in the right hand she has the hasta, giving all of us benedictions and blessings that please come to Shri Vrindavan Dham, your eternal home. So in Kannada, Purandar Das says, Allidenam mane, illi bande summane, allidenam mane. How many of you know Kannada here? Okay, then can you translate? Matini?
My house is there, but I have come simply there.
Yes. Bevajayam hai. Correct. No reason, no good reason we have come here. And then recently my relatives, they're like constructing house and all, and they're planning, there's like teak wood. All of you know teak wood, and there are many types of teak wood. Actually, I got to know. And then in that, very expensive one is Burma teak wood, apparently. So they get it from Burma, I think. And they was thinking, how much money would it take to make the entire house of teak wood? And they are planning such big plans to make a big house here, right? So everyone is planning to make house and settle down here. But like Mataji said, they have simply come here. Why? Jesus Christ says in Bible that this world is like a bridge. Cross, don't settle down on the bridge. Correct? So this world is a bridge, don't settle down. Correct? So much endeavor, till their fag end of their life, we are making house in this world. Ultimately to leave everything behind and go empty-handed. Correct? So we should not become like that. Rather, our devotion to Krishna is one thing we can take. So let us focus on that. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, work on that which is enduring with time, which time cannot steal away from you. Then that is intelligence. Only a foolish person works for that which is destroyed or taken away by the force of time. Correct? So now, Vrinda Devi is an embodiment of devotion to Krishna because her only purpose is to serve Krishna. Right? And she is wearing blue garments, and it specifically describes she has a pearl nose ring on her nose. Right? So this is a beautiful form of Vrinda Devi, who is expansion of Srimati Radharani, and she serves Krishna in various ways by orchestrating his pastimes in Vrindavan. Now one day what happened? She somehow disturbed or did not give highest pleasure to Srimati Radharani and Krishna in their pastime. And Srimati Radharani was very upset, and that's why she cursed Sri Vrinda Devi to go down to this earth and appear on this earth. So then she appeared as Vrinda, and also at the same time Subala, one of Krishna's gopas or cowherd boys, he was also cursed because he disturbed Krishna in his pastime with Srimati Radharani. And so Radharani cursed him also, you also go down. And of course, this was only for 1 second in the spiritual world. Then Srimati Radharani thought, everything that is happening in Vrindavan is by will of Krishna. Ella Hari Ichche. So by will of Krishna only everything is going on. So that means this also, they disturbed me because of will of Krishna. Krishna wanted, to convey some message. But simply I cursed them. So then, just 1 second later she thought, okay, I'll cancel my curse, and they came back. But in the Bhuloka, it translated to even 3 yugas. Yeah. So only in spiritual world it was only 1 second. Here it was more than 3 yugas. So what happened? Vrinda appeared as daughter of King Kalanemi, who was a Rakshasa. And once Lord Shiva was fighting a battle with the demons, and then Indra disappointed Lord Shiva, and Indra got on the nerves of Shiva, and Lord Shiva was so angry at Indra that he wanted to just open his third eye and burn Indra. And immediately, the Devatas and Brahma, they approached Shiva and said, don't do this. Brihaspati, the guru of Indra, he said, don't do like this. Control your anger. Indra will learn. I will, ask for forgiveness on behalf of my disciple, Indra. And then, Lord Shiva controls his anger, and he takes his anger and throws it in the water. Okay? And that anger personified appears as a child called Jalandhar. Yes. So appears as child Jalandhar, also known as Shankachuda. There is another Shankachuda elsewhere, but this is one more Shankachuda. And somehow Kalanemi, got his daughter Vrinda married to Jalandhar. And Vrinda, because she is a divine personality, she was very, very chaste to her husband Jalandhar, even though he was a demon. And later, when Jalandhar became a very powerful king, he started demanding for the 14 treasures which came out of the Samudra Manthan Leela. So many treasure things came out from Samudra Manthan Leela. So he wanted all of that. And so the demigod said, no, we cannot give it to you. Krishna or Lord Vishnu gave it to us. So then Jalandhar started fighting with the demigods. And he was so invincible, being protected by the chastity of Vrinda Devi. So she was so chaste that it protected her husband. Right? So this is the ornament of a Vaishnavi, chastity. And the ornament of a Vaishnava is Brahmacharya. Right? So when a man performs Brahmacharya, he becomes powerful. And when a woman performs chastity, she becomes powerful. And so by the chastity of Vrinda Devi, it was protecting Jalandhar, who was a demoniac king, who was fighting against demigods. So then demigods what to do? Brahma and other devatas, they approached Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu said, I have a plan. this Vrinda Devi, she was actually doing a lot of penance to attain me as her husband. So now I will fulfill her wish as well as your wish. So whenever Krishna does something, it's never one thing. He achieves so many things in one thing. That's why he is Krishna. Correct? Sometimes we try to do one thing and it leads to so many mistakes. Correct? Na? That's us, Jiva, Baddha Jiva. So now Lord Vishnu, what he did, he sketched a very clever plan. He took the form of Jalandhar and he went to the house of Jalandhar and Vrinda and he approached Vrinda Devi as her own husband. And then Vrinda thought, oh, my husband has come. Usually a woman knows very finest details about her husband. So she can detect, just like a cow or a calf, a calf can detect its mother from the herd of cows. So many cows, millions of cows are there, but the calf knows who the mother is. We will be thinking who is the mother cow of this calf. Like you go to China, everyone looks same. Okay, now how many of you have that experience? Of course, I've heard many US American people say that all the Indians look same. So like that, because we don't know them enough. So anyways, but Vrinda could not detect. Now if you see in Ramayana, when Indra disguised himself as Gautama Rishi and went to his wife Ahilya, and Ahilya initially thought he's actually his husband, but then she understood this is Indra. Correct? She actually got a clue, but then she went ahead. But here Vrinda did not get any clue, and that is the expertise of Krishna. Right? Krishna is expert in everything. If he becomes a child, he can become a child like no other. Becomes a king, he can become a king like no other. Becomes a lover, he becomes a lover like no other. That's Krishna, expert in everything. So now Vrinda Devi could not understand that this is Krishna, Lord Vishnu or Krishna, but accepted him as her own husband. And because she accepted another person besides her own husband as her husband, her chastity broke. And because of that, Jalandhar in the battlefield was killed. How he was killed? His head was severed. And as she was serving her husband, so-called Jalandhar, he was actually Lord Vishnu, she could see the head of Jalandhar flying, in the sky. And then she was completely surprised, taken by shock. What is this? This is my, husband's head. And then she started becoming suspicious of who this person actually is. In that time, Jalandhar, the so-called Jalandhar, showed his form as Lord Vishnu. And then she was completely distraught. She was completely broken down. Now, if we think, we put our position, ourselves in position of Vrinda, mostly we'll be very happy. Not because husband died, but actually because Lord Vishnu is there. Correct, na? Ultimately, he is Sampati. Sampati means he is husband for everyone. Correct? So we'll be happy. But just to show us a lesson, she was so chaste that she was unhappy that Lord Vishnu appeared as her husband. Correct? And then she immediately cursed Lord Vishnu that you could actually, be so hard-hearted that you are trying to distract me from my chastity to my husband. Hence, I curse you to become a stone. Correct? And that is what is Saligram Shila. In that time, Lord Vishnu, because ye yathamam prapadyante tam tateva vajamyaham, he also reciprocated with a curse. He said, yes, then I will curse you to become a plant. Right? And then he continues to say that, but Vrinda, actually I am here not because for my own selfish purpose, but you yourself in your previous birth had been doing so many penances to attain me as your husband. So that's why I fulfilled your wish. And she said, no, but not like this, breaking my chastity. And then Lord Vishnu said, even though I have cursed you to become a plant, you will not be an ordinary plant. You will be a plant famously known as Tulasi. And Tulasi means Tulyam Yasya Asti Na Asti. Right? That means who cannot be compared to anything in this world. Tulyam Yasya Na Asti Iti Tulsi. Right? You will be called Tulasi and you will predominantly, your hair, your body will become the Gandaki river in which I will rest as a Saligram Shila. So you see, if you want to get Saligram Shila, actually it's found in the bed of the Gandaki river in Nepal. Right? So that Gandaki river is the body of Vrinda and her hair becomes the Tulsi plant. Okay? And like this, Lord Vishnu says that I was so pleased by chastity and your previous penances, that one, I will rest in your waters as Gandaki river. Two, every year I will marry you, with through the Tulasi Vivaha. And we are all assembled here to celebrate this great marriage, the actual marriage of Tulasi and Saligram Shila, Lord Vishnu. Right? So, in that way, we have Tulasi Maharani with us. Correct? So, Tulasi Maharani also exists in this form in the Vaikuntha Loka. In Golok Vrindavan, she is Vrinda Devi. Right? The orchestrator of pastimes. But in Vaikuntha, she is again she is called Tulasi. Right? Now, there is only one Purusha. Kathopanishad says, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman. That means there is one supreme eternal and plural, eternal subordinates. So we are all the plural, there is only one supreme person. And that supreme person is always the enjoyer, we are always the servant. Correct? So in that sense, there is only one Purusha. There is only one male. There is only one enjoyer. And we are all, despite our bodily differences, always female. Right? So there's a lot of fight for female rights and all that. But actually there's no need for fight because we are all female. In what sense? Because we are all to be enjoyed by Krishna. We are all Prakriti. We may have marriages among ourselves, but that is like Prakriti wedding Prakriti. Correct, no? It's not Purusha wedding Prakriti. So what Tulsi Maharani is showing us through her wedding with Lord Vishnu, Prakriti with Purusha, is that actual happiness, actual wedding means to give ourselves to Krishna. Right? And marriage is a very meaningful samskara in the Vedas. Kanyadan, that's what it said. So Kanyadan means that we are actually, what Tulsi Maharani is showing us is that we should actually give ourselves, our heart to Krishna. That is actual marriage. Correct? Whether we are female or male body, irrespective of our gender. So it is said, Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan, all of you know that song. Yes? So there is one line which says, Krishne Rasam Sara Koro Chadiyana Char Jivadoy Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sar. So there, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing this song of activities of Lord Nityananda as a preacher. He says that Krishnera Samsara Koro Chadiyana Char. Now many times after marriage what happens? I mean, all of you know better, I'm not married yet. So my one senior doctor in the plastic surgeon in our hospital, she was telling me, it's the same thing, Abhay. It is, you will get married, initially you will be looking for marriage, then marriage, then you will start fighting till the end of your life. That is anachar, right? So what here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing, Krishnera samsara karo chhadi anachar. Many times we think, ye bachcha kahan se paida hua? We are fed up with our children, so much nautanki they do. Correct, na? That is all anachar. That is not a Vaishnava Grihastha ashram. Correct? But here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Krishnera samsara karo means give your heart to Krishna and work towards increasing Krishna's family. Krishna samsara karo, two meanings. Krishnera samsara karo means increase or contribute to Krishna's samsara, Krishna's family, Krishna's life. Second is Krishnera samsara karo. For Krishna do your samsara. So two meanings. One, contribute to Krishna's movement. Come here, get more people, do deep dan, do preaching, give Krishna to others. That is one. Jivadaya Krishna Nam Sarva Dharma Sar. Other one is Krishnera Samsara Karo. Means do your activities, do your work, do cooking or cleaning or looking after children or husband or wife, everything for Krishna's pleasure. So that is Krishnera Samsara Karo. Then you will be able to do Chadyanachar. Give up the mundane life which has no rasa. Correct? Actually, once you get little, even a drop of Krishna rasa, when you go outside, you cannot tolerate their mundane rasa. How many of you have had this experience? That's all. That means all of you have to read more Prabhupada books. Okay? The more you read Prabhupada books, you get Krishna rasa. The more you understand who Krishna is. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं. So once you taste Krishna's sweetness, all the sweetness, so-called sweetness of this world appears pale and stale. Right? Pale and stale. Pale because there's no attraction, and stale because it's too old. Already we have tried it so much, so many lifetimes we have done it. Enough. Now Krishna Bhakti, that's the only rasa. Right? Anyways, so that's what Tulsi Mani is showing with her marriage, that when we give our heart to Krishna, that is actual marriage, and then we will be able to give up our meaningless life in this world and actually have a meaningful life of contributing to Krishna samsara, through preaching, through living a life of a devotee. Right? Now the Shastras proclaim many, many glories of Tulsi Maharani. There are 8 names of Tulsi Maharani, so everyone should, all of you can repeat. Vrinda Vrindavani, Vishva Pujita Vishva Pavani, Pushpasara Nandini, Tulasi Krishna Jivani. So anyone who even recites these names on auspicious occasions like Ekadashi, Tulasi Vivah, Tulsi Appearance Day is sure to get Krishna Prema. So, in this world, Tulsi Mani appears as a plant, but she is no ordinary plant. She is Vishwa Pujita. She is worshipped even by the entire world. Even actually you see in Sanatan Dharma, the atheistic Sanatan Dharmis. Sanatan Dharma doesn't mean that you have to have faith in Krishna. Do you know that? Sanatan Dharma means you follow Vedas, not that you have faith in Krishna. So when you have atheists in Sanatan Dharma, and even they worship Krishna, Tulsi, right? Even they worship Tulasi. So it's Krishna's plan that somehow or the other I will plant my devotee, plant my mercy in the life of all these rebellious souls, so that their su-dukkitasya life becomes su-sukhitasya, right? So that he sees us simply joyful remembering him. And that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, na, Tulasi deki judaya prana madhava toshari jani. When I see Tulsi Maharani, my heart is filled with so much joy that I simply feel like dancing and singing. So we should all feel like that. To the degree we are devotees, we will feel when we see Tulsi Maharani, our heart should find so much bliss because she is so dear to Krishna. Govinda Priya. Right? She is Govinda Priya. So we'll start from Bhagavad Gita. Where is Tulsi talked about in Bhagavad Gita? Anyone can make a wild guess. Is there any Tulsi talked about in Bhagavad Gita? No? Sure? Where? Okay. Actually, all of you know this, but you never realized. Patram pushpam palam toyam. All of you can repeat. Or we'll recite together. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhatyapayati tadaham. What is the third line? Prayatatma. Tadaham bhakti upaharatam. Right? Ashnami prayatatmanaha. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upaharatam ashnami prayatatmanaha. So patram means Tulasi. Yeah, leaf. But the crushed jewel of all leaf is Tulasi. So just by offering one Tulasi to Krishna, you can conquer his heart. This is not what I am saying, the Shastra is saying. Right? In Gautamiya Tantra, there is a verse which says, find it. It is not here. But it says something like Tulasi dalamatrena jalasya chulukenava. So which means that just take the 4 items, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. In that take the first one which is Patram. Take the 4th one which is Toyam. What Toyam is referred to here by Krishna? Ganga Jal. Right? So when you take one Tulsi Dala and mix it with a drop of Ganga water and offer it to Saligram Sheela, you have conquered the heart of Krishna, says Gautamiya Tantra. You have conquered. That's all done. And this was practiced by whom in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yes, Srila Advaita Acharya to call Krishna to descend to this world, because at that time this world was, of course, in today's world, if you have to be considered very intelligent, then you should crack PG exam. You should get gold medal in IIT. Then you are a very big person. But 500 years back, who is considered intelligent? Who can defeat another in Shastra debate? Today, if you keep that, everyone is a number one failure. Nobody knows what is Shastra, correct? So that time, Advaita Acharya was shedding tears incessantly because the people were simply absorbed in mundane Shastric debate. They'll simply defeat another and say that they're a better scholar. But that scholarship would never lead to devotion to Krishna. Right? Smartabhyo satatam Vishnu, vismartabhyo na jatuchit. So, what is the essence of all Vedas? Only these two statements. What is that? Always remember Krishna. Repeat. Never forget Krishna. So the standard of whether you are doing something right or wrong should be in accordance to this principle. Everything you do, everything you like to eat or like to go to, etc., whatever you do in this world, in your life, it should serve these two principles. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Right? So, the mundane scholarship of these people in Navadvip, they were simply debating and considering themselves better scholars, but they had no drop of devotion to Krishna. All the money they would accumulate through hard labor throughout the day, they would spend in very grandiose marriages or birthday parties, or doing Chandi Homa, or so many homas for getting more wealth. And seeing this, a devotee's heart breaks. And Srila Advaita Acharya is none other than Mahavishnu himself, right, with Sadashiva. So Advaita Acharya, seeing the pitiful condition of the people of this world, who in the name of Shastra is actually going away. Shastra is considered the mother and Krishna is considered father. So mother tells the child, this is your father, right? Because the first guru of a child is mother of a child, correct? And the mother says, this is your father. Otherwise, how will the child get to know who is the father, correct? So the Shastra says that Krishna is your father. But now you see, the people of Navadvip are taking the Shastra, reading the Shastra and going away from the father. So Advaita Acharya was weeping tears. And then what he did was fasting, and he, out of so many angas of devotion, chose this one from Gautamiya Tantra, that Tulasi Dalamatrena Jalasya Chulukenava. Right? He took his Saligram Shila, it was a Narasimha Shila, and he took this one dala of Tulasi daily and few drops of Ganga water and offered to, and bathed the Saligram Shila with this. And by this, and with continuous loud chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Like this he would call, and his voice penetrated through the different layers of the universe, material universe, crossed the Brahma Jyoti, entered the spiritual world, went to Golok Vrindavan and reached the year of Krishna. And then Krishna decided to descend as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Right? So we see, just by offering Tulsi, the Advaita Acharya got Krishna to this world. Correct? So if we want Krishna, Srimati Radharani in our life, you cannot directly approach. You have to have Guru, Vaishnavas. And especially important is Srimati Tulsi Maharani. That's why Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prachati Tadaham Bhakti Uparatam Ashnami Pratatmana. Krishna is not very eager for tasting our dishes. Correct? We may be big, what is that? Master Chef? We may be winner of Master Chef. But Krishna will be least interested in tasting your dishes. Why? If it is devoid of devotion. But if it is filled with devotion, even if you offer a leaf, of course, it doesn't mean that, okay, I'm a big devotee, I'll just offer leaf to Krishna and I will take chappan bhog for myself. No. If you are having the facility, you should cook more. But if you don't have facility, even a dala of Tulasi can conquer Krishna's heart. Right? So Krishna is not concerned with the content, he is concerned with the intent. So if you have bhakti, Krishna is conquered. Right? So in the same way, so what I was saying is, that's how Tulsi Maharani plays a very important role in devotee's life. because she helps us get connected with Krishna. Okay? So even when we speak of connection with Krishna, we'll come to Bhagavatam now first. In Bhagavad Gita we saw Tulasi. Now Bhagavatam also speaks of Tulasi. So when in the 15th chapter, the 3rd canto, which speaks about the Vaikuntha world, there it glorifies Lord Vishnu and the devotees of Lord Vishnu. So there is a verse which talks about the different flowers which are very, very fragrant. Right? Why their fragrance is so much? Because that is the intense desire of that tree, of the plant, to serve Krishna. So when a devotee becomes very fragrant to Krishna's nose when he has that intent to love and serve. Right? So this verse goes as this: Mandara kunda kurabot palachampakana punnaga naga bakulam bujapari jata gande chite tulasika bharane natasya yasmim tapah sumanaso bahumanayanti. So all these different plants are ready to serve Krishna with their fragrant flowers. They all gather together. Okay, we'll give Krishna this flower, that flower. Who all? Mandara, Kunda, Kurabotpala, Champakarna, Parijata. Like that, so many wonderful flowering plants. They're ready. But the moment Tulsi Mahani walks in, everyone gives way to Tulsi Mahani. Why? Everyone knows she is Sri Govinda Priya. Very, very beloved of Sri Govinda. And anyone who it is also described, Prabhupada very nicely puts in one of the purports of 3rd canto, that sometimes Mother Lakshmi becomes envious of Tulsi Maharani. Why? No, Mother Lakshmi becomes envious because Mother Lakshmi plays 2 roles. As Shakti of the Lord, where she is one of the best devotees of Lord, but also she plays the role of a demigoddess. Like during Navaratri or some Lakshmi Puja, etc., etc. Everyone will worship Lakshmi ji for what?
Money.
Or dhan garabe, Sukha Sampati, dhan, all that. So now she becomes obliged because that is also her service in the demigod role. So she knows that even though she is placed in the Vakshasthala of Lord Vishnu, at times she has to go and satisfy the so-called devotees, the pious materialists of this world. So she sometimes goes, sometimes comes back. Sometimes goes, sometimes comes back. Hence she is called Chanchala. But she has seen Tulasi. Where she placed? Where is Tulsi placed on Lord Vishnu's body? Lotus feet. Yeah. So she knows that Tulasi Maharani never leaves the lotus feet of Krishna, Lord Vishnu. Correct? Always. Even if she goes, Lord Vishnu's feet also goes with her. Correct? So that is the power of Tulsi Maharani. That Lakshmi ji is thinking, oh, I'm so unfortunate, sometimes I have to go and fulfill this dhan and all these things of all these devotees, pious materialists. But Tulsi Maharani is always fixed in devotion to Krishna. Right? So that is her special position. And she is so powerful in her devotion to Krishna that anyone who comes in contact with Tulsi Maharani also becomes empowered by devotion to Krishna. And all of you know the Chatur Kumaras, right? And they are followers. So these Chatur Kumaras, they are Brahmavadis. They are not Mayavadis, they are Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis means they are of the conception that Krishna is present everywhere and hence is all pervasive Brahman. He doesn't have an absolute form. But why do they think like this? Because they do not know about Krishna's form. But Mayavadi is also there. They know of Krishna's form, but they say no, Krishna's form is Maya. They are very, they're like spiritual criminals. Correct? But Brahmavadis are not like that. They can change. Like Shukadev Goswami, he heard of Krishna's beauty and he changed. He became devotee. Similarly, the Chatur Kumaras, when they came to the doorstep of Vaikuntha, of course they were challenged by the Vishnu Dutas. They cursed them to become Jai Vijay, to curse them to become Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, etc., etc. After that, when Lord Vishnu, Narayan, understood there's some chaos going at the door of his Vaikuntha, so he also came there with Mother Lakshmi. And that time the Bhagavatam beautifully describes Tasya Vindanayana Padara Vinda Kinjal Kamishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu Antargata Swavivarena Chakana Tesham Sankshobamaksharajusham Apichitta Tanvo. So these Brahmavadi Chaturkumaras, they were always of the Brahman understanding. But when the aroma of the Tulasi, which is offered at the lotus feet of Lord Narayan, entered their nostrils and into their chitta, they immediately experienced a eureka moment. They had such a big shock that immediately they understood that this is the Supreme Lord Narayan. He is a Purna Purushottam. He is a supreme personality of God. He is not Brahman. He is actually a person. And they became great devotees of Lord Narayan. And from them also some Vaishnava Sampradaya is coming down. Right? Which one? Yeah, Kumar Sampradaya. So like that, this is the power of devotion of Tulsi Maharani. And Chaitanya Charitamrita we see Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur is Namacharya. Even though he is born from a Muslim caste, he had great faith because he is also Brahma, Prahlad and one more Brahmana. Right? He has like many personalities in it. So Haridas Thakur, once he was in a cave in a forest and he was chanting the holy names, and one Muslim king became very envious because this Haridas Thakur, first of all he was a Muslim and chanting Krishna's names. Second, he was getting so much fame and he was very envious. And so what he did, he asked a prostitute to go and sabotage or spoil Haridas Thakur's reputation amongst all the people. How? Prostitute will do her job. And then this prostitute, who was actually very beautiful to look at, went at the dead of night to Haridas Thakur, who was alone in a cave, not being seen by anyone, not being heard by anyone, not being perceived at all by anyone. Nobody knows he's there. At that time, in the dead of night, a prostitute approached Haridas Thakur, and she, making very lustful, seductive gestures and trying to take away consciousness of Haridas Thakur to her body, promising bodily pleasure, she approached, "Oh Thakur, please, I have come to please you, and my heart is being completely inundated with this great desire for bodily pleasure. So kindly satisfy me, because you are a great devotee of Krishna, and devotees of Krishna are expert in fulfilling the desires of everyone." How you can twist the philosophy. So when Haridas Thakur heard her voice, he gently opened his eyes and he said, "Oh, of course he may not have said Mataji, because then everything is ended there. But, oh dear lady, you have approached me at the dead of night. I will definitely fulfill your desire, but after chanting my rounds." Right? And he would chant 3 lakh names a day, almost 22 hours or 192 rounds if you want to put it numerically. And he was going on and on and on, and she was waiting. And as the sun rose and the sky became bright, she understood now it's not possible. She ran away. And second night again she came, and again she tried to seduce. She said, "Oh Thakur, at least now will you do so?" And she said, "My dear lady, definitely today, after I complete my rounds." Correct? And then she said, "Okay," and she was waiting. And as she was waiting, she was continuously taking in the vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And slowly but subtly, without her own knowledge, her heart was being purified from the prostitute-like tendencies. And again the sun rose, again she had to go back. And now, on the third night when she came, there was a Tulasi, because Haridas Thakur would chant from front of Tulasi Maharani. And first when she came, she circumambulated Tulsi, she bowed down to Tulsi, and she said, "Oh Thakur, you will never finish your rounds." Right? So you will never be able to satisfy. And she disclosed what the actual plot was. And she said, "I was here to spoil your reputation, but you have transformed my heart." And saying this, she actually surrendered to Haridas Thakur. And she said, "My dear Thakur, I want to give up my very sinful way of life and become a devotee of Krishna." And Haridas Thakur said, "If you want to become devotee of Krishna, bow down to Tulsi Maharani and circumambulate her daily, take care of her." And now all of you can repeat, "Nirantara namalo, karo tulasi seva, achirata pave tabe, Krishnera charana." Nirantara namalo means constantly chant the holy name of Krishna. Karo Tulasi Sevan, side by side worship Tulasi. Achirat means very quickly you will get. What? Pabe means you will get. Achirat Pabe Tabe Krishnera Charan. This is Haridas Thakur, the Namacharya is telling. If Namacharya says something about attaining perfection, attaining love for Krishna, we should take it seriously. Correct? Because it's Namacharya. So he is saying, Nirantara Namalo Karo Tulasi Sevan, Achirat Pabe Tabe Krishnera Charana. Then definitely you will get you will attain the lotus feet of Krishna and love for Krishna. Right? This is the power of Tulsi Maharani's devotion to Krishna. Then anyone who comes in contact with Tulsi Maharani is definitely bound to develop some love for Krishna. And Skanda Purana actually confirms this. So again, all of you can repeat. Drishtva Sprishtva Tatadhyata Kirtita Namita Shrita Ropita Sevita Nityam Pujita Tulasi Shubha Navada Tulsi Nityam Ye Bhajanti Dine Dine Yuga Koti Sahasrani Te Vasanti Hare Grihe. Hare Grihe means Vaikuntha. So this Navavida Tulsi Seva, what is there? Drishtva means to see, even take darshan of Tulsi Maharani. Sprishtva means to touch. Then Dhyata means to meditate. Kirtita means to chant her names and glories. Namita means to bow down, right? Namita means to bow down. Shrita means to hear about her, like all of you are doing. Ropita means to plant Tulsi in your garden. Sevita means to serve her. Nityam, always. Pujita means to worship her. How many of you attend Tulsi Aarti regularly? Yes, most of you. At least once a week? Like in the center. Yeah, Tulsi Aarti we have, no, regularly. All of you are, yeah. So all of us must worship Tulsi Maharani. If you are at all serious, if you have even 1% of seriousness of developing love for Krishna, attraction for Krishna, then we have to worship Tulsi Maharani. We have to, it's a must. Namacharya is saying, not me. And Skanda Purana is confirming that even by seeing, touching, serving, worshipping, whatever you do with Tulsi Maharani, you are bound to get Vaikunthavas. Right? So this is a Navavida Bhakti, Navavida Seva for Tulsi Maharani. Right? Why? Because Hitva Tirtha Sahasrani Sarvanapi Silochayan Tulsi Kanane Nityam Kalau Tishtati Keshava. In Kali Yuga especially, Lord Keshava or Krishna goes away from all the Tirtha and resides in Tulsi Maharani. Amazing, no? Lord Krishna is residing in Tulsi Maharani. This is also confirmed by Skanda Purana. In Kali Yuga, Lord Keshava, after giving up thousands of pious days and places of pilgrimage, resides in the forest of Tulasi Devi. And we are so fortunate. We are so fortunate that on the day of Uttana Ekadashi, on the day of Tulsi Maharani's Vivaha, we are here hearing about, seeing Tulsi Maharani, and even will worship her and doing so many of the Navavida Seva. Then don't you think we'll get Krishna Prema?
Yes.
Is there a doubt? Anyone has any doubt? Very good. Maybe that may be the only mistake you are doing. Okay. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, so like I told you, now all of us know the tilak, Urdhva Pundaka tilak that we wear. And anyone knows why we wear it in this fashion, this design? Yes, Mataji.
हाँ माताजी told me last week.
Yes.
These are the Krishna Charan and this is the
Tulasi. Very good, yes. This is one explanation. Another more confidential, Guhyatam explanation is that the two line represents Radha and Krishna. Now Radha and Krishna, even if they have to come together, require Vrindavana. So Vrindavana means a forest of Tulsi, where she grows profusely and where her mercy is there. It's called Vrindavana. So the gopis, after dancing with Krishna and having enjoyable pastimes in Vrindavan forest, suddenly Krishna disappeared and they became so frantic in search for Krishna. They would go to every tree and ask, "Oh my dear tree, have you seen Krishna? Because we are missing Krishna, we are losing Krishna, we are not able to find Krishna. Have you seen?" And she went to different kinds of trees, and then they understood, all of you trees are males. You males have hard hearts, just like Krishna. and hence you're not replying. And then they came to Tulasi Maharani. And then they said that, let's take out the verse. Give the verse because all of you have to repeat. So all of you ready? Yes. How the gopis approached Tulasi Maharani in their frantic effort to look for Krishna. Kachit Tulasi Kalyani
Kachit Tulasi Kalyani
Govinda Charane Priye
Govinda Charane Priye
Satvali Kulai Bibrat
Satvali Kulai Vibrat
Drishtaste Ati Priyochutah.
Drishtaste Ati Priyochutah.
Very good. Okay? Yeah, so they're saying, oh most kind Tulasi, because they understood all the trees, they were not replying because they were all male trees. So they understood only Tulasi Maharani because of her devotion. She's a female first of all, Vrinda Devi, and she is being female, she can understand and empathize with them. So they said, oh most kind Tulasi, to whom the feet of Govinda are so dear, have you seen that infallible one, that means Krishna, walk by, wearing you and encircled by swarms of bees? So Krishna is very very pleased when you offer him garland of Tulasi. That the gopis of Vrindavan, the topmost devotees, we can understand. They are saying that Tulsi who are very dear to Govinda. Right? So that is the position of Tulasi Maharani.
Prabhu, is it okay to, let's say during the day, pluck Tulsi leaves and offer to Krishna from our own pot?
Yes, you can. Of course, you should make sure it's not a Ekadashi, Dwadashi, and certain days are there, then you should not. Otherwise, other days, okay. And there's a way to pluck. I'll just finish because you asked the question now. Because of time, I may not come to that point, so I'll just finish. So there's a verse or there's a prayer. If those who don't know the prayer, it's fine. You can just say in English, oh my dear Mother Tulsi, kindly allow me to serve you in your service to Krishna. We should not think that Krishna, Tulsi Maharani is serving us in our service to Krishna because bhog lagana hai. So Tulsi ke bina nahi ho paega. So Tulsi is assisting us, or we are assisting Tulsi? No, we are assisting Tulsi. Actually, Tulsi is such an embodiment of love that her purpose of life is only one, to please Krishna. She is growing fresh leaves and manjari flowers only to be offered to Krishna's lotus feet. And she purposefully appears in such a form, helpless form, that she is allowing us to be part of her devotional service. So she is allowing us to be part of her devotional service means we are assisting her. So in the prayer we can pray, oh Mother Tulasi, oh kind one, kindly allow me to assist you in your service to Krishna, because without you Krishna won't accept the bhoga. Right? So this should be the devotee's mentality. Tulsi Maharani is thinking opposite way. I am an insignificant devotee, let me depend on other devotees to serve Krishna. But we should not take that. No? That's not etiquette. Right? So the Sanskrit verses, Tulasyam Nata Janmasi Sadatvam Keshava Priya Keshavattham Chinomitvam Varada Bhavashobhane. O Tulasi, you were born from nectar. You are always very dear to Lord Keshava. Now, in order to worship Lord Keshava, I am collecting your leaves and manjaris. Please bestow your benediction upon me. So you can just say it in your own native language. That's good. Okay? Is that okay? So while plucking also, it should not be in the Sandhya Kal, because sometimes it may be rough because of lack of light. And where the manjaris grow, there the dalas or the group of leaves are there, those leaves are preferably to be plucked. And when the manjaris grow, the early manjaris should be plucked because it takes a lot of energy from the tulsi plant for the manjaris to develop into seeds. So we don't want the tulsi plant to be fatigued, correct? So in early time only we can pluck, that will help it grow also. That can be used to add fragrance to water when you offer it to Krishna, or that can be used to replant Tulsi Maharani in other places, correct? So with respect to this. And of course in Bhagavatam, another place, Tulasi is there, and we celebrated that festival last week. After that, Govardhan. Yes, Govardhan Tulsi is there now. Yeah. So when all of you know the Leela, so when Govardhan, the entire mountain, Govardhan, he was not different from Krishna, at the same time devotee of Krishna, right? Haridasa Varyaha. So that time when the villagers, the surrounding villagers, they made heaps and heaps, mountains of rice and puris and so many things. I don't want to name because today is Ekadashi. I don't want to spoil your vrata. And they made lakes of kheer. And when Govardhan appeared, he manifested very transcendental arms and grabbed everything and put in his mouth. And then he said, Anyo, give me more. And everyone started looking at Krishna. And Krishna said, what are you looking at me? Whatever is there in your house, give. When Krishna, you should not, look here and there. Give. Right? And then whatever little was there, everything they gave. And still Govardhan was unsatisfied. And then again they saw Krishna. And Krishna said, okay, now Govardhan is becoming a little greedy. So only way to satisfy Govardhan is by Tulsi. So just one leaf with devotion, patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prastati tadaham bhakti upratam. Bhakti. Only with devotion. When you offer that one leaf, satisfy Govardhan Parvat. All the heaps, mountains of food, prasad, bhoga and lakes of bhoga did not satisfy Govardhan. Only one leaf. Right? So like that, even Govardhan Leela. And also there is a Dwarka Leela where once,
Tulabar.
Yeah, Tulabar. Krishna was on the Tulabar. Krishna said, if you want me, you should place equal amount of gold. The Satyabhama was very frantic. She was giving all her gold. Then all the other, wives of Krishna also started putting their gold on Tulabar. But who was heavier? Krishna. Yeah. And then Narad Muni came and gave them an idea. They said, only power of devotion can weigh heavier than Krishna. And they placed only one leaf of Tulsi and immediately Krishna went out. So like that, Krishna is completely conquered by love or devotion. Okay. And Ramayana also, it is said that when Ram was looking for Sita frantically, he was asking every ped poda that where is Mother Sita, where is Mother Sita, and finally approached even Tulsi Maharani and asked, oh Tulsi Devi, who is beloved to the Supreme Lord, can you tell me where Mother Sita has gone? Like that. So I was making this point that even if Radha and Krishna, Sita, Ram, Vishnu and Lakshmi have to meet, Vrinda Devi has to be there. Right? So if we have to get Krishna, Vrinda Devi has to be there. Right? If Radha Krishna have to meet, Vrinda Devi has to be there. Who are we? And we also definitely need the mercy of Vrinda Devi.
Prabhu, Ramayana was before Krishna's Leela.
Yeah, but Krishna is eternal, no?
So Tulsi was there even before Krishna.
Yes, Tulsi Maharani's glories are there throughout scriptures.
So I thought it during the Leela of Krishna, but then Tulsi Maharani was like while Rama.
In previous Kalpa, Krishna Leela would have taken place, no? Like that. So, Sanatana Dharma explains that time is circular or cyclical, not linear. So, everything is repetition, but it's transcendental repetition. Nava Nava Rasadhaman Uddita Prantumasit. Okay? So, there was one Ras Khan who was a Muslim, but he was a great devotee of Krishna and he would wear. How many of us wear Kantimala? How many of you are wearing Kantimala? Yes. So it is said in Skanda Purana, I'm going to divert here. It is said that Tulasi Alankrita ye Tulasi Nama Japakaha Tulasi Vanapalayete Tyajat Durato Bataha. Yamaraj is telling the Yamadutas, anyone who is wearing Tulsi Maharani's kanti or made from the stem of Tulasi, don't approach them. Yamadutas are forbidden by Yamaraj to approach us. Amazing, huh? Provided we are wearing Tulsi kanti. Okay? And or even if you have a Tulsi Maharani at your home, if you are taking the mud, the mrittika of Tulsi's dust on upon your head or on your forehead, that also forbids Yamadutas from attacking us. But especially Kantimala is very important. Now, if Bhoga has to be offered to Krishna, you mean Tulsi. If we have to offer our tan, man, dhan, our body as offering to Krishna, you need Tulsi. But how will we apply Tulsi on us? We put one leaf in us, on us? No. Very kanti. You always offer it to Krishna. Correct, na? So anytime death will strike. So if you are wearing kanti, immediately offer it to Krishna. Right? Like that. So this Raskan would not wear 1 or 2 or 3. Some of us who are very new, we start wearing 1. Some of us are very little committed, we wear 2. If we are initiated, we wear 3. Raskan was wearing 20 Kantimala. And someone asked him, why are you wearing 20 Kantimala? And that was big piece, not like this, very heavy. He said, my heart is so stone-like, like a pattar, that it is very heavy. And I can only depend on the mercy of Tulasi Maharani to carry me and offer to Krishna. And that's why I need her full blessing. And that's why he was wearing 20 Kanti wala, right? So like this, Tulsi Maharani is very glorious because of her devotion to Krishna. And once Srila Prabhupada said that first class deity worship means taking Tulasi and offering it at the lotus feet of Krishna. Prabhupada said, first class deity worship means to take a Tulsi leaf, offer it at the lotus feet of Krishna. First class. Right? Okay. So Garga Samhita also describes a discussion between Chandanana Gopi and Srimati Radharani, and there it says how Tulsi was so pleased because Radharani asked Chandanana Gopi, what is the essence of attaining, by which we can attain Krishna? And Chanda, of course, Srimati Radharani is a Bhakti Chudamani, but still, as a matter of Leela, she was asking from Chandanana Gopi, who heard from Gargmuni. So she said that Gargmuni told me, in brief, just offer Tulsi to Krishna and he'll be pleased. That's all. That's the essence. One line of what all Garga Muni and Chandanana Gopi Sambhashan was there. Essence in one line is offer Tulsi to Krishna, Krishna will be pleased. Done. And that's why Radharani started worshipping Tulsi Maharani. Of course, we saw the Leela that she cursed also, but as a part of Leela, she was worshipping Tulsi Maharani to develop some love for Shyam Sundar. And then, that time when Tulsi Maharani was pleased with Srimati Radharani, she awarded her the name Vrindavaneshwari, her own name. Actually, Vrindavan is because of Tulsi, and so Vrindavaneshwari is Tulsi Maharani. But she gave her name to Srimati Radharani. That's why we say Tattakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. So, Devi Pranamami Priye. So, Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani is called because of Tulsi Maharani's benediction. Right? So, these are different scriptures glorifying Srimati Tulsi Maharani's position and her devotion, and which plays a great role in our own life as a devotee of Krishna, right? So if we want to make our offering acceptable to Krishna, ourselves acceptable to Krishna, we have to take shelter of Tulsi Maharani. Okay, so Tulsi care is also very, very important. We must always see that Tulsi Maharani is growing very happily in our residence, right? Vishnu Toshani is Tulsi. So if we are not doing bhajan, you put enough water, but she will not grow. You will see. Shastra say that. If you are not having devotion to Krishna, then she will not grow. And devotion to Krishna manifests as Tulsi care also, right? So we must attend Tulsi Aarti daily. And in that Tulsi Aarti, what are we praying? We are praying that Krishna, oh Mother Tulsi, kindly grant me permission to enter into the eternal Dham of Sri Vrindavan. And there, let me be engaged as a menial servant of Radha and Krishna. And that power Tulsi Maharani has. Okay? So I think it's now time. As per Murli. So we'll end here. So in summary, we discuss how this life is so, one advantage, one disadvantage. What's the advantage of human form of life? Yeah, we can attain Krishna. This prerogative is there. What is the disadvantage? Why men say only Murli Priya to mistake? Distraction and very short. D and D. Only one letter difference. Right? So we should consciously make that choice of choosing Krishna. But Krishna knows our predicament, so He has allowed so much mercy to flow in our lives. So many ways. Devotees, prasadam, ekadashis, like in form of time. Then sthalas, dham, Tulasi Maharani. Right? So like this, Bhagavatam. So in this way, Krishna has manifested His mercy in our lives in various ways. And one of the prominent ways is Tulsi Maharani. Right? In Rupa Goswami in NOD says that we have to have 5 nishthas, means we should be fixed. And one of them is Tulsi Nishtha. Other is Dham Nishtha, Nam Nishtha, Seva Nishtha, Guru Vaishnava Nishtha. These 5 nishthas we should have. One of them is Tulsi Nishtha. We have to be fixed. And we have seen why. So we saw the story of pastime of Saligram Sheela and Tulasi Vivah. And what Tulsi Maharani is showing us, how we have to give our heart to Krishna. That is actual marriage. After that, we saw the glories of Tulsi Maharani's devotion from various scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sankirtan party, when he would go chanting Hare Krishna, that time in front of the party would be a Tulsi Maharani. He would always make it a point. And he would say that without Tulsi Maharani, it is as if I feel like as if I'm a fish without water. right? So much importance the Lord would give to Tulsi Maharani. So we have seen so many scriptures, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Garga Samhita, and Gautamiya Tantra, which Advaitacharya followed, right? And then we saw that what is the role of Tulsi Maharani in our devotion to Krishna, and she is a very important pillar of our devotion, and hence we must make it a point to have Tulsi Maharani at our home, to wear kanti as soon as possible. Prabhupada times he would not ask, or are you eating onion garlic, are you following 4 regulative principle? No. He just asked, where is your kanti mala? All this is included. Where is your kanti mala? Means why are you not wearing? He would ask, right? Because kanti mala dharan means you are getting the benediction of Tulsi Maharani. We never know when death will strike, right? Like one great scientist, he has spoken so much against God. He has written, science of atheism, anti-theism, and when he was going on a beach, he just tripped over a stone, over a rock, and he fell, and his head hit the rock, and he died. Unexpected. Just 10 seconds before that, he would have never expected he would give up his body. Correct? So, in that way, we should make sure that we are having Tulsi on our body, because any moment we may leave the body, Krishna is there to protect. Yamadutas will never dare to come near us. Okay? So, we are here as assistants of Tulsi Maharani in her devotion to Krishna. And first class deity worship means to whom? Where? Lotus feet. Everything should come. First class deity worship means to offer Tulsi at the lotus feet of Krishna. Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani ki Jai. Shri Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Shri Radha Govinda ki Jai. Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki Jai. Shri Gauritai ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada is such a wonderful acharya that there is nobody in the entire world, in the history of this world, who has spread the glories of Tulsi Maharani, the worship of Tulsi Maharani all over the world. There was one devotee, I'll end with this, there was one devotee in the West. She was a pro-environmentalist, green, go green, always green. So she was seeing, she suddenly happened to come to a temple and she saw that, who are these people draped in white, wearing tilak, wearing a mark on the forehead, and they're worshipping, they're circumambulating Tulsi, they're worshipping Tulsi, they're chanting and clapping about Tulsi. They're great lovers of trees, and hence she became devotee. So just by drishtva, how we can become devotee of Krishna. That also, and this is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And in Vrindavan there is a Vrinda Kund for those who have visited. That is a specific place of Vrinda Devi. And till now, and because Prabhupada has done so much prachar of Tulsi, Tulsi Maharani has reciprocated by giving the care of her own private kund under care of ISKCON. Right? So even today, ISKCON is taking care of Vrinda Kund and maintenance and management. Because earlier there was one Madhav Babaji, and he was very, very learned about Tulsi. And when Govinda Dasi Mataji, Prabhupada disciple, and few other devotees of Prabhupada disciples, they went there, they would serve him. And in his last days, Govinda Mataji, she was an expert painter. So she, artist, and she painted Vrinda Devi's, form as told by Madhav Babaji. And when she showed him that, he had tears in his eyes. He said that this is perfect. And then at the time of his leaving the body, they also showed the same form to Madhav Babaji, and that time, he had told his disciples and others to give Vrinda Kund care to ISKCON devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions, any questions, comments, feedbacks, if you want to add anything?
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. It was very enjoyable and learned so many things. Prabhuji, one doubt. Difference between the demigod and God. Like initially you said humans are better than demigods. Are they really better, or demigods are devotees? That's why Krishna has given such position. So how come they are below the humans?
Okay, thank you. What's your name, Prabhu?
Vinod, Prabhuji. Vinod.
Vinod. Vinod means always happy, blissful.
But I'm not so happy, Prabhuji.
Now Tulsiman is there, now you become happy.
Yeah, with your blessings, I may be happy.
So nice question. So it's not that we can sit. So it's not that we are better than demigods. Demigods are definitely better. Now Krishna, why he chastises Indra? Why he chastises Brahma? Because they're very dear. Like if you have children and they're little naughty, immediately chastise. Why you chastise? Are you against the child? No, because for his welfare. So to that degree, a person is dear to Krishna. To that degree, Krishna, to that degree, a person will correct him. Correct? So Krishna personally takes care of demigods. In Samudra Manthan Leela, he gave the upay, he gave the plan how to perform Samudra Manthan against the demons. He helped in so many ways. The mountain was going up as they did the Samudra, Samudra Manthan? That churning of the milk ocean. Yeah, that mountain was moving up, Krishna took a form and put it down. Mountain was going down, Krishna took Kurma avatar. Then the Amrita has to come, Dhanvantri. Like that, almost 7-8 forms Krishna took just to help the demigods. He told beforehand, Indra, don't be greedy, focus on the goal that is Amrita. So Krishna is personally appearing to help out the demigods. So definitely demigods are greater. My point was the human form of life is greater than the demigods of the heavens or the heavenly denizens, because many a times, and the Shastras say, the 5th canto says, the demigods and the sages of the Tapaloka, Maharloka, they are praying, oh Krishna, when will we get the human form of life? Because in human form of life, we can directly go to Vaikuntha. Why? Because in the demigod or heavenly life, there's so much pleasure that it's become difficult to remember Krishna. Right? Indra, how many times he went against Krishna? As Vamandev, not Vamandev, as Krishna only, with Satyabhama, he went on Garuda to kill this, we celebrate now on Diwali. Which demon was killed? Narkasura, otherwise known as Bhaumasura. So Bhaumasura was his own son, but he became Asura in association with Banasura. And he had stolen earrings, I think, of Aditi, mother of demigods, including Indra. And Krishna went personally, killed his own son Bhaumasura, and took the earrings of Aditi, went and personally, did delivery to heavenly planet of Indralok, and they gave to Indra and Aditi, they were pleased. And on the way, Satyabhama said, hey Krishna, I want this, Parijata tree. Remember, you know that person? And what happened? Krishna said, okay, let us take it. Immediately Indra, now Krishna has done home delivery of his mother's ornament. Why Krishna has to do? He can just kill the demon, he can say, you come and take. Krishna personally went killed, got the earring, went in home delivery and gave it. And when he is asking for Parijata tree, to whom Parijata tree belongs? Krishna. It doesn't belong to Indra. Everything belongs to Krishna. Correct, yeah.
I think it was in Indra.
Yeah, it was Indralok, yeah. So out of misconception that this is mine, Indra started thinking, how Krishna is taking like this? That same person who gave his, mother's earrings, he is again challenging. Right? So like this, many times, Janma Ishwarya Shrutaha Shrivi, our birth, our wealth, our beauty, our knowledge can corrupt our mind to think that Krishna is our enemy. And we don't want to surrender to Krishna. I am Krishna. Who is Krishna? I am Krishna. That's what we think. To that degree, we cannot chant holy name. Right? Because it's a tug of war. My name has to be chanted or Krishna's name, like that. The point is, so when you're in heavenly planets, so much pleasure confuses us. Hellish planets, so much pain bewilders us. In human form of life, we have the right proportion of pain and happiness that we can take shelter of Krishna. That's why the sages and the demigods of the heavens, they are praying, when will you get human form of life so that I can go to Krishna. Right? So that's, in that way, human form of life is better than demigods. One. Second is, the demigods are mixed devotees, they are not pure devotees. Even we are mixed devotees. Little Maya, little Krishna. Correct, no? And mostly Maya, little Krishna.
So Maya in spiritual world also.
There's Yoga Maya. There's Yoga Maya. So here we want Mahamaya, means I want to enjoy and Krishna is enjoyer. But mostly we want to enjoy, little Krishna is enjoyer also, we'll allow Krishna to enjoy little. Thoda bhog lagate hain. And remaining again we'll enjoy, busy. Correct, no? So Maya and Krishna. Demigods also Maya and Krishna, you see Indra, etc. etc. Of course there's few pure devotee demigods like Ganesha, etc. etc. But anyway, the point is, both are mixed devotees. But when a devotee in the human form of life becomes pure devotee, Shastras say he is better than a demigod. Why? His devotion to Krishna is purer than that of demigod. Demigods, though they are very exalted personalities, are still attached to material facilities. Correct? So in that way, a pure devotee is greater than the demigod. A demigod cannot give you Krishna, but a pure devotee can give you Krishna. Okay, is that okay?
Prabhuji, one more doubt. I was hearing Pramodai Prabhuji class in Bhakti Vriksha. He was telling someone else has asked it out. Like the demigod is a position, it's not a personality.
Yes, correct.
So even Ganesha changes? Like,
Yeah, but this yuga, whoever Ganesha is there, that is pure devotee Ganesha. Like this yuga, Vyasadev, this yuga means this, what do you call this Chatur yuga, this time. So whatever, who is there as Vyasadev this time? Krishna only. Okay, this Vyasadeva is Sakshat Vishnu. But next Vyasadeva is someone else. If I am not wrong, it is Ashwathama. Next Vyasadeva. Who is the next Indra? Bali Maharaj. Like that. So Ashwathama, who killed the sons of Draupadi, who was such a corrupt fellow, he is next Vyasadeva. How is it possible? Correct? No? So Krishna's Leela is Achintya. Of course, when Arjuna humiliated him on instruction of Krishna, he was a Chiranjeevi. So he is still wandering and repenting for his sins and then becomes pure and then attains the position of Vyasadeva. But current Vyasadeva is Krishna only. Sakshat Krishna, Vishnu. So anyways, the point is that they changed. Sometimes a pure devotee is in that post. So current Ganesha is pure devotee. Yes.
You mentioned Goddess Lakshmi is demigod. But
In her role as demigod. Like Lord Shiva is topmost Vaishnava, but he has a demigod role also. So Ashutosh, some people pray and he gives benediction. Hesitatingly he gives, and he tells to those prachetas. He said that my devotees come to me for this and that, and I am just fed up of fulfilling their desires. But all of you 10 prachetas, you are great devotees of Vishnu, so I am very pleased with you. And he becomes their spiritual master, and that's where Rudra Geet is spoken.
because I was told that all the goddesses like Shakti,
Shakti, yeah.
Lakshmi are
Yeah, they have Shakti Tattva, but they have a demigod role. Right? They have to function as a demigod in this world because on a broader realm, Krishna wants every one of us to go to Krishna. Right? So Karma Kanda is also there. Some people need Karma Kanda so that they can come to Jnana Kanda, so that they can come to Upasana Kanda, so that they can come to Bhakti. Some people like all of you, directly Bhakti. Right? Like that. So even though they are like pure devotees or Shakti Tattva, they have a demigod role. Right? Even Durga is there on instruction of Krishna to fulfill the desires. She is not interested in simply fulfilling these desires. Correct, no? When Jada Bharat, he was being almost attacked by all those cannibals. You know that? In Jada Bharat, it comes in 5th canto. So when he was being attacked by all these cannibals who were going to offer Narabali to Chandi, then she got so angry that they are going to cut and kill pure devotee of Krishna. She came out of the deity form and with her 20 weapons in 10 hands, she destroyed all those cannibals who are her own devotees. Correct? No? So in that way, they function as demigod, but they know that ultimate purpose is somehow connect them to Krishna. So even though Shakti Tattva, they have a demigod role. Even though Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, demigod role is there. Is that okay, bro? Vinod? What's your name? Vaibhava.
When you told that when Prabhu he was chanting Hare Krishna
Yes.
by offering that Ganga Jal and Tulsi, putting Tulsi in it to the Shaligram Shila, you said he shouted Hare Krishna so hard that it gone through the whole universe. Was it more than 220 decibels?
Yes. The power of his love that was present in the chanting was infinite decibel.
Then everybody would have gone there.
No, it's the love in the chanting. So you may be calling out Hare Krishna, but after beyond the street, nobody can hear you. So when he called out, one, he's Mahavishnu himself. Second, because of his devotion, he called out with such intensity. That intensity was so powerful that it could reach the Golok Vrindavan. Okay, so when you chant, how you will chant? With full love for Krishna. Okay, na? Thank you. Nice question. Intelligent question.
He has corrected with his science.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So it's a wonderful class.